Welcome to The Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at a book that, well, it really has shifted how millions think about money. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Definitely a landmark book for many people.
Yeah, and this deep dive isn't just about, how to earn more. It's more fundamental. It's about rethinking money itself, how it flows, how you deal with it.
Right.
Our goal here is to pull out the key ideas, sort of give you a shortcut to getting your head around financial freedom concepts.
And it all starts with Kiyosaki's own story, doesn't it?
Exactly. He frames it around these two figures. His biological dad, who he calls the poor dad, highly educated but, well, financially conventional, and his friend's father, the rich dad, who's more entrepreneurial.
And the advice they gave him was just worlds apart right from the beginning.
Totally different.
Yeah, the poor dad saying, get a great education, find a secure job, climb the ladder, save up. The traditional path.
But path most of us are told about.
Pretty much. But then the rich dad, he was all about financial know-how, about investing, and this is key, making your money work for you.
Instead of the other way around.
Precisely. Not just spending your whole life working for money.
Yeah.
And that basic comparison, that tension, it really sets up everything else in the book.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit because that divergence is so, well, familiar, isn't it?
It really is.
The poor dad's advice: go to school, good grades, stable job, build a safe future. It comes from a good place focusing on security.
Of course, security is the goal there.
But the rich dad offered something completely different. His advice was, like you said, get real financial knowledge, understand investments, actively find ways for your money to make more money.
Building an engine, not just relying on a paycheck.
Right. Building an engine. So think about the advice you've maybe received in your life. Which path sounds more familiar, or maybe which one sounds more interesting now?
And what's fascinating is how Kiyosaki uses this to immediately challenge that conventional wisdom. He's not really knocking the poor dad's intentions, but he is asking us to look hard at the result of each mindset over time.
Okay.
One path often keeps you trading your time for dollars indefinitely. The other, he argues, opens the door to real financial independence.
It forces you to ask, what am I actually aiming for? Wealth or just a steady job?
Exactly. Are you aiming for wealth or just, comfortable employment?
And this, for me, is where it gets really interesting. Kiyosaki flat out says our schools generally fail us when it comes to money.
That's a huge claim he makes.
It is. Beyond just not teaching investing, what's the biggest problem he sees with that gap?
Well, he argues it leaves most people playing a game without knowing the rules. It's fundamental.
Okay.
It's not just about not knowing how to pick stocks or something. It's deeper, not understanding how money flows, how debt really works, what financial freedom even looks like. And without that basic literacy, Kiyosaki says, we just end up chasing paychecks, always reacting, never really planning.
So financial literacy isn't a bonus, it's essential.
He positions it as a core skill, absolutely foundational for having real freedom and control of your life, rather than being controlled by your finances.
Which leads us to what he calls the first critical step to getting rich. And it's something often misunderstood: the difference between assets and liabilities.
Yes, this is crucial in his framework.
And for him, it's not just about owning stuff, it's about cash flow, right?
Exactly. Cash flow is everything here.
So his definition of an asset is super clear: something that puts money in your pocket.
Simple as that.
Like rental property bringing in rent, stocks paying dividends, a business making profits, maybe even intellectual property generating royalties.
Things that feed your income stream.
Right. And conversely, liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket,
Okay.
like car payments, credit card debt, and often, controversially, even your own home if it just costs you money each month and doesn't bring any income in.
And that is often the big aha moment for people reading the book.
Do you think so?
Definitely. It's not just learning the definitions. It's realizing how often we mistake liabilities for assets.
Like the dream home example.
Exactly. That dream home provides shelter, maybe emotional value, sure.
Okay.
But from Kiyosaki's strict financial viewpoint, if it's only draining money, mortgage, taxes, upkeep, insurance, without generating income, then it's a liability. It's a liability in his terms. It forces a shift in thinking about value, away from just ownership or sentiment, towards pure cash flow. Does it make you money or cost you money?
That's a really powerful way to reframe things, and it links directly to his concept of the rat race.
Ah, yes, the rat race.
It's almost like a cruel joke, isn't it? You work hard, get a raise.
and your spending goes up to match it.
Exactly. Kiyosaki paints this picture where as your salary goes up, so do your expenses. The bigger house, the nicer car, fancier holidays, more debt.
More installment payments.
Right. It just scales up.
It becomes this endless cycle he describes.
You work harder, earn more, but then you just spend more to keep up with this lifestyle you've created.
Running faster just to stay in the same place.
Yeah, like a hamster on a wheel. Earning and spending, always working just to cover the bills. Do you recognize parts of that cycle, maybe in your own life or people you know?
Oh, absolutely. And what's insightful is how this cycle, income rising, but expenses rising right alongside it, it just traps people.
How so?
Well, they end up working harder and harder, not really to build wealth, but just to maintain their current standard of living.
Yeah.
It creates this deep dependence on the next paycheck.
So what's the way out, according to the book?
The path out of the rat race, Kiyosaki argues very strongly, is to invest your money strategically so that it starts generating income for you.
Ah, okay.
Creating a system where your money is working on its own, separate from your job.
Which brings us to that fundamental shift in thinking the book pushes for. Instead of just working for money.
Make money work for you.
Right. He argues most people are stuck in that loop. Work, get paid, spend it.
The standard flow.
But the rich, or those building wealth, operate differently.
Completely different mindset, he says.
Instead of just relying on their job income, their active income, they strategically put their money into things, assets, ventures, investments, where that money can make more money for them.
Building systems that produce income.
Yeah, exactly. Freeing themselves, eventually, from trading time directly for salary.
And the book gives concrete examples of this, right? Like buying real estate that pays you rent every month.
Okay.
Or investing in the stock market for dividends and growth. Or maybe starting a business that can eventually run without you needing to be there constantly.
Generating profit on its own.
Precisely. And this raises a really important question for you, the listener. Is your main focus on active income, trading your time and effort for money? Or are you actively trying to build streams of passive income where your money works independently? Kiyosaki's core message is urging that shift towards passive income.
It sounds logical, but we know there are hurdles, like psychological ones,
Yeah.
fear, for instance.
That's a big one.
Kiyosaki acknowledges that many people shy away from investing because they're genuinely scared of losing money. It's a real fear.
And what he emphasizes about that fear, which is quite interesting, is that it often stems from a lack of preparation or knowledge.
Ah, okay. Not just irrational fear.
Not entirely. When you don't understand something, how investments work, the risks involved, how to manage them, fear is a natural response.
So knowledge is the antidote.
He argues financial knowledge empowers you. It builds the confidence to take calculated risks instead of just gambling, or worse, being paralyzed by fear.
And it helps avoid the flip side too, right? Greed.
Yes, exactly. Good financial education helps you avoid decisions driven by short-term greed, which he says can be just as damaging as fear. It's all about making informed choices, not emotional ones.
And building on that, overcoming fear through knowledge, another key takeaway seems to be this idea of continuous learning.
Absolutely vital in his view.
He points out that a major habit of the wealthy is they never really stop learning. Education isn't just a phase that ends with school.
Right, it's not like you get your degree and you're done learning about money or business.
No, they're actively seeking out new information, always adapting. What does that look like in practice?
It could be anything, really. Reading books constantly, attending seminars or workshops, networking with knowledgeable people.
Just keeping an open mind?
Yeah, maintaining a curious, open mind, always looking for new opportunities, understanding new trends or information. It's an ongoing commitment to self-improvement and staying current financially.
If we connect that to the bigger picture, it seems to highlight a core difference in mindset, doesn't it?
It really does. Kiyosaki contrasts what he calls the poor thinking mindset, which often defaults to, I can't do this or I can't afford this when faced with a challenge.
A sort of closed-off reaction.
Exactly, a fixed mindset reaction. He contrasts that with the rich thinking mindset, which immediately asks, okay, how can I do this? Or how can I afford this?
Shifting from a statement to a question.
Precisely. It's a proactive, solution-focused approach.
Yeah.
And that shift, that how can I attitude, is crucial for solving problems, spotting opportunities, and ultimately building wealth. You have to be a lifelong student.
So, wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for you, our listener? Rich dad, poor dad. It's clearly more than just finance tips.
Oh, much more. It's a challenge to your whole way of thinking about money.
It really pushes back against that conventional wisdom many of us absorbed growing up and lays out a very different potential path. The big message seems to be getting financially free isn't just about how much you earn, that's only part of it.
Right. The bigger part is how effectively you manage what you earn.
Understanding assets versus liabilities, like we discussed.
Yes, and crucially, figuring out how to make your money work for you instead of you always working for it.
That's at the core.
And the book leaves us with that really powerful final thought straight from the source material. To become rich, you don't need a degree. You need to change your thinking.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
It is. It's a strong call to action, isn't it? To really examine our own beliefs about money and ask if they're actually helping us reach our goals, or if maybe a different way of thinking is needed.
A paradigm shift, as you said earlier.
Exactly.
Okay, so with that thought in mind, here's something for you to consider. Thinking about what we've discussed today, what's one thing you currently own? Maybe something you've always thought of as an asset that might actually be a liability through Kiyosaki's lens. You know, on your own path to financial freedom.
That's a great reflection question.
And following on from that, what's maybe one small, deliberate step you could take starting now to begin shifting that perspective or changing that reality? Something to mull over. Thanks for diving deep with us today.